Hi guys, welcome to Interior Insights. I'm Jane and we are standing in Pristina, the capital city of Kosovo. And today we're going to look at a 55 square meter apartment that is full of art and full of personality. If you love art and bold and eclectic designs, this video is for you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go and subscribe right now. And now, let's go have a look. This actually used to be an office building, and so the renovation process was very intense, and the building now used to look completely different to what we have here. When the owner bought this apartment during COVID around 2022, she initially meant to turn this place into her own office where she could work, and because she loves to create art and paint with a lot of heavy oil, she also intended to use the space as her own little atelier. And so this apartment really explores how a woman turned an ordinary office into an incredible apartment. So when you look outside, you can actually see the Cathedrale, which is one of the top attractions in Pristina. So this is a very unique location. And whenever she isn't here and isn't creating her art, she actually also rents it out to guests. And she really went and thought about her day and was thinking about, okay, what do I do in the morning? What exactly do I need? For example, she loves to run, and after a run, she loves to take a bath. So her bathroom actually has its own jacuzzi to relax the legs after a long run. As soon as you enter, you are just overwhelmed by the incredible art collection that is hanging on the walls, and it almost feels like you're coming into a curated gallery space. No wall or square inch has been kept empty, but instead every single wall has a curation of different artworks. Around half of the artworks are by herself, and the other half of the artworks are just from local artists that she cherishes and is collecting. Also, of course, because right now we are traveling quite a lot to film a lot of different apartments all over the world, we have a lot of behind the scenes content on our Instagram, so go check it out if you're interested. And if you're looking for more inspiration to how to curate your apartment and just to add this little piece of extra, I've created my own completely free design guide that you can also get in the description or by scanning this QR code. So feel free to check it out if you're interested. It's completely free. So the beautiful moldings and arches that we have on the ceiling that just add this very rustical and unique atmosphere to the space, and I love these old details. They were actually hidden by a drop ceiling, and this was just a little unexpected surprise that was revealed when she looked at what was hiding underneath the drop ceiling. And whenever she gets bored of the art, she just changes the collection, so the space is also living and constantly evolving. And as soon as you enter, you just really feel this energy. And sometimes when guests come, they actually end up creating their own art, which is also absolutely incredible. I will show you later the little art room that we have here. So, for example, this piece of art was created by a friend who stayed here, and they just decided to draw this little scenery. They gifted it to her, and I think it's really cool to see that this place is a source for so much inspiration for so many people. And also, like, I couldn't help but want to create my own art as soon as I entered. And she really paid immaculate detail to everything and asked herself what she wanted and tried to turn this dream of hers into a reality. So what's also very unique for Pristina is that we actually have chevron wooden parquet on the floor, and you will not find this in any other apartment, and it was very difficult to find. She actually had to find a German guy to come here to do it for her because it was just a very difficult process. And I love that she really had this vision and just followed the vision and stayed true to herself. Another focal point, other than the art in this room and apartment, is of course the incredible view. So this part of the building actually used to be the balcony, but during the renovation process, she decided to renew the windows and to expand the apartment. And because of this, it feels almost like you're living in a penthouse apartment because you are just right at the edge of the building and you have this immaculate, incredible view of the cathedral. That is one of the main attractions of Pristina. And on the other side, you can actually see one of the top 10 most ugly buildings in the world, apparently. It's on the list. I actually think it's quite cool, so comment below and let me know what you think of the building. Another thing that was very important to the designer, she didn't want to use modern pieces with certain furniture, but she really searched in different vintage markets, which are very difficult to find and source here, to find pieces with a history and with a soul. And so she selected over the years different vintage pieces, and we have a lot of old materials that have aged well, where you can see the mark, and this just again draws from the inspiration from this being a vibrant artist space to let your creativity run wild. Behind the table we actually have our own little mini bar, and that's also just a very unique piece of furniture that was preserved. And you know, I love old pieces of furniture because I feel like they just carry so much more history and soul with them rather than new apartments. And here you can again see an excellent example of zoning, is that she used a carpet and used the natural niche of the apartment to just create this little sofa lounge area over here. And even though the space isn't too big, it still feels very curated, and you have different selective spaces in one open living room. Also right now, as you can hear, we can hear the bells from the cathedral, and this is also just a very unique little aspect of the apartment. And to further turn this place into a quirky apartment full of soul and fun, she decided to use a lot of different plants. And so all over the apartment, on these little round arched shelves, we have little plant collections, and the arched shelves makes it feel very curated because you don't have the plants all over the place, but you have little stations. To her, it was very important to take the geometric forms and shapes of the cathedral, so these arches that we have repeated, and to show and cite them in the design. So we have all of these arched shelves throughout the apartment that you will see that are supposed to remind us of the place and history that is surrounding us. So this is another example of using tight spaces in a very efficient and good way, that you have much more of the space. So over here we have the kitchen, and the kitchen at the same time extends into the first bedroom that I will show you in a minute. To keep it very clean and minimal, because this is quite of a slim kitchenette, we have just one kitchen counter that spans from one side to the other side, and it is kept in white and this black marble, and it just fades into the background. And as a little pop of color, we have this red coffee machine. And of course, like I already mentioned, on every single wall, no matter how small, we have a little artwork hanging that just elevates the space and just adds this unexpected touch. Now, let me show you the bedroom. So this bedroom was intended to be her room where she takes a power nap. And so she wanted to make this room feel like it was night and time to go to sleep, so that she could take very efficient and short power naps inside here. So for the wall paint, we have this very dark blue, almost black paint, and the whole design is very pared down, and we don't have a lot of accents, just so you can really calm down and take in your rest. But also, of course, she wanted to again create these little pieces of contrast and these little accents with some artworks. And inside this bedroom we have more vintage furniture that was also sourced at different vintage markets, and that just gives this design a very timeless look and feel. Another aspect that just elevates this small apartment and makes it feel much bigger than it actually is that we have these very tall door frames that go all the way up to the top. And then again, we have these very French classical doors with wall paneling, and they are also kept in this very dark blue color, and they just again elevate the entire design. So this is the room where the artist creates all of her art. And also, whenever there's people staying over, there's an extra bed. So it has two functions at the same time. And this is her drawing desk, and it is actually a very old, beautiful, almost Baroque kind of table with these very rich golden details, and it's just an absolutely beautiful table to take inspiration from. And so that whoever stays here can just let their imagination and creativity run loose. We have everything prepared. We have wax crayons that are already open, and it just really invites you to sit down and to draw something and to just explore your creativity. And of course, again, we have all of these old artworks on the walls that give the space a gallery-like feel. And when we look outside, we just see the cathedral, this time from the other side. And the cathedral just has these unique arches that are being repeated, and you're just looking out at a very unique architectural feature. And of course, the plants are also not to be missed. So over here, we again have a little row of plants that just give this design a much lighter and livelier atmosphere. And I think that my favorite piece of furniture inside this room is definitely this absolutely gorgeous chandelier. If you take a closer look, you can actually see that it is made from green marble. Now, this is the bathroom, and this is also just a dream of a bathroom, because we are just again entering this French, Parisian-inspired world with tapestry on all of the walls that are showing different peacocks on trees, and it's just a very dreamy and girly design. Like I already mentioned at the beginning of the video, because the owner of this apartment is a runner, so basically when she comes home after her morning run, she wanted to be able to take a proper bath here. So she actually managed to find a jacuzzi that fits inside the space. Unfortunately, during the renovation process, the builders applied the plaster behind the tiles a little bit too thick, so then the jacuzzi didn't fit anymore. So she actually had to find somebody to cut off a piece. And I love that she just stayed true to her vision of what she wanted to do and what she wanted the space to feel like. Another detail that I love, and that just shows you to go with the flow in design, is that she bought all of these small black and white tiles for the floor, but then she wasn't able to buy the same amount of both. So she only had very little white tiles and a lot of black ones. And so she spent hours on the floor trying to create a cohesive design and trying to integrate the white tiles where she could to create a pattern. And I think it looks absolutely gorgeous now, but you would never expect that this is the result of a tile shortage, because it just looks so intentional and just has this very unique design. And the use of these metals just create this very luxurious and boheme feeling inside the apartment. So this apartment is an absolute unique gem in Pristina because it is one of a kind. If you like this video, you will love this incredible artsy Paris apartment that we filmed. So go check it out now and see you in the next video.